Hello, everybody, and welcome to day number 6 of Raging Reveals, where every single day we're going to be going over all of the announcement for Leagues 5 as we count up to the launch date on November 27th. Yesterday, region diversity really shook up with combo item drops from monsters, where you won't need the component piece to actually get the final version. And today's reveal brings us the teleport relics, all 3 of them. Starting with Fairy's Flight, which will allow you to teleport to any fairy ring, spirit tree, or tool leprechaun. But we're also getting a new one, Bank Heist, which will allow you to teleport to any deposit box, bank, or bank chest in your regions. And Clue Compass, which will teleport you to Follow the Bard, but most importantly, any stash unit in your region. It also has another bonus where you can teleport to your current clue step. That's a lot of new possibilities. Teleport relics are so much fun in Leagues, and they really change a lot of your strategies when you have access to a bunch of new teleports that you never could in the main game. Traditionally, teleport relics have come really early in tier 2, which means that you'll have access to these within like the first 30 minutes or an hour of playing the game. This will not only help you a bunch in the early game with your routing decisions on how you want to complete all of those tasks in the early game, but this will actually carry through with you for the entirety of Leagues, and you can really get some cool new strategies that I've unlocked because of these new teleports. Now, I don't think that these relics require too much explanation. They're pretty straightforward, but just to recap, Fairy's Flight will teleport you to any fairy ring, spirit tree, or tool leprechaun as long as you have that region unlocked. It's also good to know that this item does ignore wilderness teleport restrictions, so I know a lot of people are really interested in going in the wilderness this year, and these relics will actually completely bypass that. Even if you're in the deep wilderness, you can still use it. Here's Bank Heist, and all 3 of these relics will actually give you an item that you use in your inventory that will allow you to teleport to all the different areas, basically. Same thing here, it allows you to teleport to any deposit box, bank, or bank chest. There are a lot of banks in RuneScape, so I think that this is a really cool relic, and I also don't think you should underrate how valuable actually getting directly to the bank that you want is. Sure, there's probably other teleports that you could already be using, but even if you're saving, 5 seconds, 10 seconds every single time you teleport to one of these banks, that really does add up. So I think that as like a general purpose relic, this is pretty good. And definitely the most interesting one is going to be the Clue Compass, which teleports you to any stash unit and Follow the Bard. Now, at this moment, I do not have 100% confirmation, but I am very, very confident that you won't need to actually build that stash unit to teleport there, nor will you need to fill it up with all the respective items. And it has this added bonus of allowing you to teleport to your current clue step if you have one. But this will not work on clue steps that require you to kill a certain NPC, so I don't think that this part of the clue is really what you should be kind of focused on. I think it's the stash units that's like the main draw here. And the instant teleport is just to really speed up because there's a lot of stash units, and I think navigating through the interface is going to be pretty tough when you're trying to go through all that. Also, a lot of stash units are already close to a bank, so you can actually have access to a bank. It's more about specific banks versus specific stash units. To me, I think this also implies that we might not see a Clue Scroll relic coming back, because I think that this is a very strong addition to clues, and it will significantly speed them up. For that alone, I'm really leaning right now towards the Clue Compass. And I feel like once you have all of your stashes set up, like you don't even have to really think about it. You'll just like click read, and then it'll teleport you to your current step. If you were wondering, that's how it will work when you read a clue. Basically, the Clue Compass will save that as like your current instant teleport. And I think you should be able to like even put the clue in your bank as long as you've kind of saved that as your teleport and you don't read any other clues to overwrite it. I'm sure that saving your teleport to a specific clue will also enable some really cool strats, but that's something that I just don't have like enough theory crafting on right now, and I'm sure there's going to be some really cool ideas that pop up. I'll also use this opportunity to shout out the Better Teleports plugin on RuneLite, because you're going to have so many freaking teleports that you're going to be going through, and it kind of filters out all the ones from regions that you can't access. So I would definitely make sure you keep your eyes out. Better Teleports plugin on RuneLite, kind of going to be a necessity this year. I'm not joking. Just to kind of give you a quick look at some of the options, I'm sure there'll be some really good maps up in the coming days as people sort of have everything set up. But this is tool leprechauns that I'm tracking on the map. A couple of really useful ones I remember using were like the Fossil Island Tool Leprechaun, the Weiss Tool Leprechaun. Now, don't forget that you will also have access to fairy rings on top of this and spirit trees. You're still saving a little bit of time being able to teleport there directly, whereas they have to do one teleport, then walk to the fairy ring, and then teleport. Okay, so banks are a little tricky. I haven't been able to find like a great map that just has them all, but I mean, you can see there are a lot of banks in the game. Here's a look at some of the bank chests you can find to like get to Temperos, Ape Atoll, Trouble Brewing has one, Fossil Island has a bank. And here's some bank deposit boxes that kind of seem pretty similar to the bank chests. Like there's a couple more of them, but it's nothing like super crazy. And there's also a couple of like underground banks that, again, I'm just trying to find a good map that has everything, but like this is next. You'll be able to teleport here. I don't know, you'll probably need to get the kill count one time, but then yeah, you'll be able to teleport straight to next whenever you're doing God Wars dungeon. Okay, and probably the most interesting one, of course, stash units. So first off, immediately, you'll have access to things like this stash unit in Shiloh Village Bank. It's literally right there, maybe like 2 steps. So if you need any bank to deposit stuff and then teleport back to what you were doing, this is going to be a great option. Other than that, man, there's a lot of really interesting stash units. Here's just some of the cool ones I've seen already. The Soul Altar up in Zaya, this stash unit right next to Zulrah, stash units at the Agility Pyramid, as well as Pyramid Plunder. You might also be curious, as there are clues that take you to the top of the Agility Pyramid, as well as one that takes you to the 7th floor of Pyramid Plunder. Those will not actually teleport you directly there. They will just put you kind of right outside in the lobby area. So you're not going to be able to like completely cheat using those with Clue Compass. But there are some that feel close to cheating. This stash unit in the Barrows chest will allow you to skip the entire downstairs portion. We don't know if Last Recall is coming back, and that's usually been used to skip this part. But, I mean, if you're going Mauritania, man, this looks like a really good pick right now. You'll still want some teleport to get back to Barrows, but this is a really nice teleport to have. Here's one at the Death Altar, so some really easy rune crafting experience. There's actually a stash in King Black Dragon's lair, although I think when you get the Echo boss, you probably won't have a stash in there because all Echo bosses are instanced. And there's also a stash here outside of Krill's room in the God Wars dungeon. Now, we talked about like the chest for next, but this is also a decent option to get over to God Wars kind of fast. Oh, even things like you can teleport straight to the lava maze with the stash unit. I don't know, I just keep finding more that I'm really interested in, and I'll probably like have to keep looking and just see what everybody else finds. If you found something, like let me know in the comments below, and that way we can all kind of help each other find new avenues and like new routes of teleportation. I think right now I'm really leaning towards the Clue Compass just because it has so many unique teleports, and that's what I've really loved about these teleport relics is finding new teleport options. It kind of makes you rethink how to play the game when instead of using like all your spellbook teleports and jewelry, well now you have access to stash units, and that's opening up some new faster ways of getting around the world. I still think the bank option is really good and it might be better all around, but this relic also having the added bonus of making clues a lot easier to do because you'll have all the teleports and just be able to get there right away. I think that's really tipping it over the edge for me because clues are usually a lot of points, and I just don't really see a clue relic coming to leagues after seeing this relic that already makes clues so much faster. Last year, we also did get stackable clues, so I think stackable clues, get like 100 of them, and then just start spamming your teleports. Like once you have all your stash units set up, I feel like you are going to blast through clues at an unreasonable rate with this relic. It's going to be so ridiculous. Let me know what teleport relic you're currently looking to pick up. I really think that this is going to be tier 2, just like all the other leagues, and I can't wait to start planning some of my early like day 1 routing with these relics in mind. I think the clue one and the bank one are just really cool new ideas, and I regret not thinking about Fairy Flight more because it did take me a bit of time to actually kind of adjust my mindset and start thinking about like, oh, I can teleport here now. I can teleport here now instead. They've kind of teased that tomorrow we're going to get 2 very massive reveals. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow with that news. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.